too, right when you went like this, right here. I know, just like it hasn't moved in forever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that was it. Wow, that hasn't moved.
Speed bump right here.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you have an injury. I can even see it. I mean, it's huge. Huge injury right there. There you go. Let it go, chin up. Good.
Oh.
All right. You did great. Just kind of look gently up for me again. Wow. Whoa. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't, I don't have that pain anymore.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
If you want a quiet visit, it costs double. It's discounted if you let me talk, and it'd be so much more ASMR and calming if you just shut your mouth. He wanted the discount. A lot of stuff on the left side of your body here. Look at the picture here, like almost the entire.
Yeah, so
Left side.
everything is all on the left. It's pretty much like from here down, and it's all around here, this area, and it's the back or the shoulder blade, like the scap, and it's from the spine to the shoulder blade.
Okay.
That's a lot of knots and a lot of issues, and
You
it
saying
seems
almost a year, just a year, or how long total?
that's when it really got worse.
Okay.
But I've always had issues with the left side.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because of I've always had jobs where I had to either hold something on the left, so it's always been aggravated. Like I'll get these knots, especially on the left side, and I'll have to either get a massage or lately I've been just using the lacrosse ball.
Are there any symptoms down your left arm? I see this says numbness, tingling. Where is that?
It's usually when I wake up. It's during sleep. I'll have like numbness and tingling.
All fingers, certain fingers?
Sometimes it's these two.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it's these right here.
Uh-huh.
But it's not really. It's not something common. The numbness and the tingling is not something common or happened during the day.
Okay.
I've also had a really bad injury on the left side here,
Okay.
where I fell off a bicycle.
Okay.
And I landed like that. So I hit this whole thing and it turned black and blue. I didn't break anything.
How long ago was that?
22, maybe 21. 2 years, so
Like 2 years ago or so?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So, bicycle injury 2 years ago.
bicycle injury 2 years ago.
Hit that
Landed
real hard.
like that. Yeah.
How did that affect the shoulder and the neck? That kind of made
It
everything
didn't.
worse?
It didn't. The neck. It had to be from way back then. So what happened with the neck? Let me just go back a few years before the pandemic. It's actually 2019 or so.
Okay.
Where I went to the gym and I was doing these assisted pull-up to warm up. It's not a regular pull-up with your body weight,
Right.
but these assisted ones that you put your
Right.
just to get my upper body warmed up.
Warmed up.
And the minute I got to do the first few reps, I felt something like
Shoot.
shoot.
Uh-huh.
And instead of just going home, I continued the workout, which is the next day resulted that I got up and I couldn't even move my neck. I just can't remember which way to turn, but it was all on the left side. And then this left side has started to get harder and harder, especially the top, and I could just feel it.
You hit a nerve. Yeah, we're hitting nerves in there. These actual cables that come out from the side are held very tight. So we call that tethered.
Right.
And then when you turn or rotate, they don't have any ability to kind of move or roll with the punches. And so then you hit the nerve. Then the muscles get tight to try to guard and protect. So the workouts typically, one of the things that lifting weights or pull-ups will do is that it's very common for your neck to want to get pulled straight. You'll see this commonly with somebody who has a bicep curl, right?
Right.
With bad technique, you'll see people going,
Right.
right? Because it's harder to do a bicep curl with a curve in your
With
neck.
the curve, yeah.
You want to flatten out your neck, do you understand? To do a good, and so most exercises in the gym, you're better at them, you're more powerful, you're more efficient with no curve in your spine. So this does a couple things. It tethers the nerve roots, and then it also, that straightening puts an extra pressure on the disc. And the discs are non-sensitive, and these are like, represent kind of like the enamel on your teeth. They don't have any feeling, and so this takes 10, 20 years for us to realize that we're putting stress on the discs, and now those discs are starting to come out and actually start involving pressure on those nerves, similar in the neck. The discs now start to occupy space that that nerve now had some ability to move away from the bones, but now the disc's in there hitting it too, and now it's surmounting to a point where now, and I can't get away from it, and now I can't turn my neck, because when you turn your neck, that hole is moving, and now you're hitting the wire.
Yeah.
The sensation into your fingers is the C5, 6, the nerves in your lower neck are the ones that are involving with that numbness.
With the numbness.
At the very least, it's a sign of low tread, that we're getting low on the tolerance for that nerve to be irritated. And so it's not all the time, because sometimes it gets inflamed and then you're hitting it. And if we kept going down this path 5-10 years from now it's going numb all the time.
Yeah.
It used to be intermittent, and now it's just I'm waking up and I'm getting weak. My hands, my muscles are weakening. I feel like I'm dropping things, and then trauma to the elbow. So now we have inflammation, injury.
Yes.
And then even your body's ability to heal things are based on how healthy these nerves are. So if the nerves aren't healthy, then the ability for it to regenerate is going to be affected. So I treat posture. I treat, many doctors treat symptoms, right? And I believe, one, that if your neck, shoulder, hips are in alignment, that the whole spine is going to be aging evenly, and that there's not going to be any one area that's going to be overstressed. And your health will increase when your posture is lined up properly. Injuries and like you were saying, work where I'm holding things on the left side. So yeah, those things amplify postural problems. So we have a postural problem, and then work then ramps it up, and it does. It makes it worse. But we want to first work on a couple things. One, getting your ear over your shoulder, restoring that curve.
Right.
So the first phase of care is what I call the demolition phase. We go through the spine. We identify what parts aren't working, work on them, leave the parts that are loose alone, and then we put you on molding devices that are easy when your neck is curved. You understand? We put you on the device and you feel like it's not doing anything, then we've made it. But you get on and you go, wow, this is uncomfortable. It's because your neck wants to be straight, I want it to be curved, and for it to last till 90, we need it to be lordotic. About an inch forward with your head. What is your work? Are you on your feet all day? What do you...
Mostly on my feet. I'm an event coordinator, so
Okay.
I'm either at the airport or with the event stuff. So I'm also holding the sign a lot of times, and that requires me.
Gotcha, you're fine. Your left shoulder's high. Your head's tilted, but then it makes your shoulders unlevel. Right hip is high. What I'm saying is that it's like the tires in your car. If your tires aren't on your car straight, your tires wear out unevenly.
Correct.
And everybody's blaming the diseased tire, and I go, no, it's the alignment that's causing the tire to wear out unevenly. It's not something wrong with the compound. The discs aren't right. The alignment's causing the stresses. So when, for instance, if I have an injury to the right side of my neck, my head will tilt to the left. It's called antalgia. Anta, away from algia, pain. If I break my right ankle, I'll put weight on my left ankle, right? Your body's going to avoid something that's injured. So your head tilts very subtly, and then if you walk around with your head tilted, it makes you dizzy, so you drop a shoulder. You call it a righting reflex. Your eyes will always seek the horizon. So what I'm seeing, we see it externally as a shoulder height problem, but it's not really a shoulder height. It's really a head tilt that becomes a shoulder height problem because of that righting reflex. So your body's got to have your eyes on the horizon. Anybody at home wants to test this, try walking around for a long time with your eyes tilted. It'll make you dizzy, sick very quickly. Your eyes need to be, your body will do whatever it takes to keep those eyes on the horizon. The good news that the MRI I use to show people is that most of your spine is usually younger. That there's a few parts that are older, but a majority of your spine is actually 20. And if we can mechanically wake those areas up, you'll feel younger. We feel as old as the average age of the parts of your spine that work. So if you only have the older parts working, you're gonna, and every time I move my arm, I'm hurting, because you're just bending where you're injured, where you're worn out, and where the older parts of the hypermobile areas are.
Yeah.
So, is there for instance, when you turn your head to the right or left, is there discomfort or pain right now when you turn?
Tightness.
On the right.
Just tightness, and it's weird because this has just started like a couple of weeks ago. The right side, it was never really that tight. And it's the same thing, and it's tightness. It's where you can see it right
muscles
here.
Coming out there.
Yeah, it's really tight, and it's like when I do this motion here, it's real tight. You can see that.
Yes, sir.
Here.
Yes, sir.
But here, it's not that bad. It's still a little tight, but it's...
We'll check that at the end. I like to compare that at the end because your total range of motion comes from every segment working as a team. And what I kind of get the hint of going on is that your lower neck is doing too much, and then that tightness is because you're trying to utilize your lower neck to do all the motion, when in fact your upper neck should be doing something like 60%.
Yeah.
So it's usually a locked atlas axis, the upper cervical, that then causes this extra stress, extra muscle activity in the lower neck in response to a frozen upper neck and your upper back.
Yeah.
So the areas around adjacent are usually the problem. Is there any pain? Show kind of look up for me.
Oh yeah.
Wow, really restricted even looking back.
Oh,
Is there pain when you look up?
Like right here.
Right in the lower neck? Yeah,
Yeah,
again.
right here.
Again, another evidence. Yeah.
And it hurts also when it's almost the same spot when I put my head down. Now
Yeah, I don't
it's like right here.
Thanks for showing me. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you're way too mobile in your lower neck.
Yeah.
You're saying that's
Yeah.
see your whole spine should be working as a team.
Yeah.
But if you're just even when you bring your head back, that was about as far as you go, like
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
because your lower neck is doing everything and it's saying I can't give anymore,
Right.
and the upper neck is supposed to function to give you that full 80 degrees of range of motion, being able to tilt your head back.
Yeah.
So we need to restore the function of your upper neck. Cross your arms for me. All right, bend both the knees for me. All right, we're gonna go pretty deep here. Take a deep breath in for me, a little sit up for me. And then head back for me. Let it all go, exhale. Get a deep breath in, I got you, bud. Head back, let it go. Busted your watch.
It's all right.
Oh no.
It's all right.
Sorry.
Put that over there. And then exhale. Yeah, we got work to do in here, bud. Exhale.
Oh, that first one you did was, oh my God, I haven't felt like that in a long time.
We're gonna get some more motion out of there. It's way too tight.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath in for me. It's okay, exhale. Yeah, we got work to do in there. Okay, other side for me. How'd that feel? You okay?
Pretty good.
Here we go, exhale. All right, face up for me. Okay, good. All right, face up. There we go. Let's see here. There it is. Wow. And it's huge. All right.
The one on the left, right?
No,
Or
this
the right?
huge knot right here.
Okay.
Yeah, this huge, I mean, it's almost non-existent over here. And you have, I usually name these. I mean, it's a huge Frankenstein bolt on the right side of your neck. And it's in avoidance of this that then makes it grow larger. It's like a problem in life. The more you try to ignore a problem, the larger
It's weird because
becomes.
I've always thought it was on the other side, not the right.
Left's abused. Absolutely. The
I
symptoms
see.
are going to be on the left, but the
I see.
source, if you injure your right ankle and then you put all your weight in your left ankle, now your left ankle is going to hurt because it's doing double the work,
I
right?
see.
And then so everybody comes in with a busted left ankle, and I'm going, well, that's because you're avoiding the right ankle. The only reason the left side hurts is because you're tasking it to do more than what it was meant to handle. All right, so we go easy here. I got you, bud. I know. Okay, we'll go deeper in a second. I want to be careful to not move what's injured, and I'm just trying to move what's tight.
Mhm.
What's tight is reluctant to work, especially without the lower neck moving. So I'm just trying to isolate the upper neck here a little bit. Here we go. Okay, we'll go deeper. Yeah, right there. That's your problem.
Yeah. Oh my God. I feel
It's
it.
huge. It's like a huge Frankenstein bolt. And it's caused you can't, your head won't tilt to the right. No wonder you can't lift your right arm up. Your head won't, it doesn't tilt. And we have to, unlock. They're just joints. It's like if I asked you to bend your finger and you only could bend your finger halfway. It's like it's your range of motion here is, massively reduced. And now because this area is underworking, another vertebrae has to then make up for that. And that's when you showed me earlier trying to look up. You're doing most of that with your lower neck, and your lower neck is exhausted and overwhelmed. And we're going to wake up the upper neck. That's all it is. Right here. There's your problem. There we go. There you go. There it is. You didn't even know this was here, did you?
No.
Yeah.
No.
We don't feel or connect with the parts of our spine that don't work.
right? The employees that never show up to the factory you don't even know exist, right? Who are you? Do you work here? Yeah, I work here. I get a paycheck. I've never seen you around here.
Yeah.
You've never seen this vertebrae. You don't.
No, I've never thought there's been an issue on this side at all.
Right.
I've always thought it's on the left.
That's the abused. Yeah, I know. So when we're stretching later, there's a piece of foam called a Denerol, and it emulates my hand. It holds your neck in this curved position. And what we're going to do is we're going to have your head back on it like this, and we're going to do a little bit of right rotation. Both sides are responsible, but that nugget's huge on that right side. It's
Yeah.
just, not nearly as big on this side. I mean, it's there, but it's half the size that the right has. Okay. All right. Oh. Yeah. Oh, this is the when you lift your arm up, this first rib here rises up. That's what I meant by tilting your head and raising your arm. It compresses what we call the thoracic outlet, which is this funnel here that all the nerves from your lower neck travel through to get down into your arm. So mechanically, kind of the same thing when you tilt your head or lift your arm. It compresses this channel right here. It's okay. Relax here. Relax right there. Let it go. There it is. Nice. Yeah. Relax. There it is. Good. Yeah. It was designed from protection. When you look at that model, like the first thing that it kind of screams to me is that it was very important to protect the spinal cord, right? You have all these bone, you understand, and joints encapsulating the spinal cord. So it was important that the spinal cord is protected, but then obviously the wires that are in the spinal cord need a way to get out. Right? You can't have it totally like a sealed up jail. There has to be exits somewhere.
True.
And so the second thing that was important was range of motion. So you could fuse everything. Do you understand? Have no range of motion, meaning those holes couldn't change in size. But now you can't turn your neck. You can't tilt your body. You can't lean down to tie your shoes. Right? We could lock everything down, but it was like two things were important when the spine was designed: protection of the spinal cord and range of motion. Right? But those two things are kind of at odds with each other. There are other vertebrates on this planet that have more stable spines, but their range of motion is a lot less. Does that make sense?
I see.
Like a ram. Think of that animal that shoves its head into another animal.
Right,
you understand?
right.
Its range of motion is very low relative to ours, right? It can't turn its neck like us, and so it leads me to say the statement that we're not designed to play football. Because if we were designed to play football, the anatomy of our spine would emulate that of a ram's.
Correct.
Right? We would have locking vertebrae in a different way that could handle compressive forces in that kind of manner.
True.
Our spine, to me, it was designed for mobility. We were designed to be able to move. I mean, 160 degrees of cervical rotation, for example. That's the spec rating.
Yes.
80 degrees left, 80 degrees right. You should have 160 degrees of cervical rotational range of motion. That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, not like an owl, I guess. I mean, owls have, but then owls' stability is a lot less. You understand? They can't, their protection of their spinal cord is a lot less.
Because of their flexibility.
Because of their flexibility so high.
Yeah.
So there's like concessions that you have to make. Do you want range of motion or do you want protection?
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, the ribs are specifically designed to protect your heart and lungs and to protect your organs, and so that limits mobility, though, right?
Right.
Because we have to have this cage that shields us, and so what happens is the areas right above the cage and right below the cage are more prone to being abused.
I see.
Right? Because the cage protects
Protects
that area. So you don't hear of T5 disc injury. You don't hear of T10 disc injury because those areas are all guarded.
Yes.
But you hear it happening right at the lumbar 5 and cervical 7. The areas right above or below the cage
That's where
get destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And so the take home that I've 16 years of doing this is that you have to keep that thoracic cage mobile. It has a high tendency to want to lock down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the destruction of the adjacent areas is going to happen inevitably if we don't, keep that range of motion in the upper neck, the upper back. Okay. If you want a quiet visit, it costs double. It's discounted if you let me talk, and it'd be so much more ASMR and calming if you just shut your mouth. He wanted the discount. So he's fine, you can talk all you want. It's also what the word doctor means. It means teacher.
Right.
To learn something. How am I supposed to be telepathic?
I appreciate the education. It's like, I feel like that's a role of a doctor. Is not to just treat the issue, but to
Teach
you. Yeah, teach
Help
me
me
how
understand.
to
Take care of myself.
prevent it.
That's right. Hang on. I'm just real quick. It's coming out. Yeah, that's a lot right there. Wow.
Don't be surprised.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That left side is just a mess.
Well, the nerves are having to travel through this area. It's like the nerves are sitting in acidity, which we call sensitizes the nerve, meaning it moves closer to its action potential or its firing point. My wife would be pregnant, and I'd walk in the house, and she'd go, "You haven't done anything wrong, but you came in here, and I'm immediately upset. I just don't even want to see you right now." Right? That's a nerve when it's sitting in acidity. Right? You didn't even really do anything. It just pissed off with your presence. So by working on the area, massaging, postural work seals it, but we're trying to desensitize the spine, make it harder for these nerves to be so, trigger point, or so trigger finger, right? Ready to, itchy finger, just ready to go off any second. All right.
Is it like a speed bump right here?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you have an injury. I can even see it. I mean, it's huge. Yeah, it's all right here.
Right, yeah, you can see it.
Yeah.
But when you were laying down, this whole left side's elevated a good
Yeah.
half inch.
It's popped up.
Popped up, yep. But yeah, oh my goodness, yeah, this left side is. Yeah. There we go.
Here's something had to happen to my lower back too, like especially on the left side.
Yes.
Because a few years ago I started to get this tingling sensation,
Yes.
especially around here.
Yes.
And it will be more irritated when I sit down. Like when I stand up, it will feel better.
Yes.
And if I sit down for like an hour or two,
Yes.
that will really irritate
Yeah,
it.
there's a disc injury in there too. There's disc injury in there, meaning the nerve is close to its threshold. The muscles are getting tight to protect, so they try to come to the aid of the deeper structures that are injured. But it's mechanically, because it's tilted, because this is too tight up here, your lower back is taking the brunt of the mechanical stresses. The problems are up here, right there is more specifically where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So for every really, really overworked area, for every really, really overworked and hypermobile area, there has to be a really, really stiff, tight, underworked area, right? Like there's the opposite.
Is it the opposite side of it on the back or in the front?
Well, it's usually higher, what I'm trying to say. Usually there's up here
Yeah.
that then causes this to be abused.
Right.
So this is frozen, and then the lower back is simply compensating. But right here is where I find that.
Oh my god, yes. This is like that part of my spine feels. I've always had an issue with it. And I don't know, like probably herniated or something. Like right
Well,
there, there where your elbow.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god.
This is where all the original injuries happen. Yep. When you were the youngest, your youngest injuries happened here because mechanically this is the first part of your back that's supposed to work. It got injured, it quit, and you've been running everything with your lower back.
You're right. You're right. This has to go back to like 2003 or 4.
Right. You got it. Back when you're 20. Yep, sure. Yep.
I did have issue in that area. Right there where your elbow is. And it's kind of like you said, it's just, I don't know if it got better, but it's just, didn't bother me.
Right. Well, then it was injured, it bothered you, and then it just froze up.
Right.
And then you forgot about it.
Right.
And now we're dealing with the effects of losing your main engine. This is your main. When you're pointing down here, this is like your backup engine, your secondary engine,
See.
and you're now using your secondary engine to run the entire show with it.
Right.
And everybody's going to try to treat your backup engine and go, well, yeah, let's try to operate on it and do something. I'm like, how about we get the main engine up here running? And if we get the main engine running, the backup engine's going to be on vacation.
Yeah.
And you're going to be just fine. All right, come on. Right there, yeah.
There's not dogs and cats in that area. Has been my problem area for years. And now it's like, I don't know where it's going, but it's traveling to that to that left side of my body, and it's honestly making it very difficult to exercise. I can't even work out like normal anymore. The other day I did some pull-ups and some push-ups, and that area is on fire. It's on fire.
Just highly sensitized. You got the tissue all inflamed.
Yeah, it's on fire.
So that's what we'll see in a minute when I GuaSha. You're going to see all this acidity. So when you make muscles guard an area, the muscles build up lactic acid, right? Lactic acid is cellular exhaust. It's what you feel when you're doing a bicep curl and your muscles are to, burn. But these are postural muscles. Do you understand? So because the posture's not correct and because you have injuries inside, you have muscles never getting a break, right? Unlike your bicep where you just work it out at times, these muscles don't ever get vacation. They're just...
because they have to support
They have to support it all. And
makes sense.
there are a lot of practitioners that are teaching a narrative that that's their job somehow, that it's the job of your muscles to give stability. I'm not disagreeing with the fact that they can give stability, but to say that your muscles should simply be tight and contracted to give stability to your spine all the time is nonsense. Your alignment should give stability. Your posture, the mobility of your spine working as a team gives stability. If you have half your spine not working, then the areas that are working are going to be destabilized because they're doing more than what they're supposed to be handling. So alignment and mobility are the pieces of the spine of how it's maintain its health, and
I agree.
Not, just muscle strength. So what I'm saying is now because you have all this acidity in the muscles, you then feel that as burning.
Yeah,
it's going to burn all the time.
These muscles have been working non-stop to maintain the posture, which is unaligned.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Yeah, right there. The spine should be what we call autonomous. Auto means self, nomi means law. Self-ruling, self-governing. It shouldn't need even me. Shouldn't need drugs. Shouldn't need chiropractic. You understand?
Right.
Your spine's supposed to be autonomous. Now, injuries in life and getting stabbed or shot, things happen where you now need. But my point is that you're supposed to be autonomous. It's supposed to be self-running, self-governing. But now we have injuries and things have happened. Autonomy is shutting down, and so now we need help to restore the autonomy. Is the goal of the care.
There's something over there. Feel that popping?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? These are knots or?
Right, so the posture's not correct, and so the muscles are contracted all the time.
Oh my God, right there.
And where the most internal blockage is, the mark will come out darker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the antagonist to this will say you're just busting blood vessels, but why then do the marks only really come out in certain areas? The areas that are the most congested inside and the most blocked inside is where the most, the darkest mark will be. See, the areas that are abused are actually getting plenty of blood flow. They're actually circulating, right? They're
Right.
abused. It's the areas that are frozen
Mm.
that are congested, where they're not getting oxygen to bind to lactic acid and form carbon dioxide and water. So the tight areas are where it's all trapped.
Oh, yes, that right there. Oh my
Mhm.
God. I know this one. I've been abusing that spot too with the lacrosse ball.
Part of this is going to be getting your shoulders back. When we're stretching in a minute, I believe a lot of the constant stress here is because your shoulders are rounded forward. So as we work on your back in a minute, I'm going to show you how to bring your shoulders back, and that'll decrease the amount of continual work that this area is under. The more rounded forward our shoulders, based on also the position you were showing me when you were working, that rounds our shoulders forward, and that puts like a tug of war battle that this muscle's playing against the pec.
Right.
And then these muscles lose the war. They get pulled in the mud. They complain. They're losing the tug of war with the pec. And we're going to help them win a little bit by bringing the shoulder back. Yeah, there's a lot in there. All these marks are what he's trying to use the lacrosse ball to like shine a spotlight on. You're trying to shine a spotlight on the internal blockage that's in here, or even just the continual stress that the posture is putting on this area. And so, the root cause is the alignment. The alignment creates the stress along with injury. And if we can deal with those things, you won't feel this constant need to put a lacrosse ball here. It shouldn't be the long-term care of this. It should be, let's get the alignment better. Once it becomes full-blown, like your hand's numb and you have shooting pain down your arms, then all of a sudden everybody agrees with me. But it's like, no, 5-10 years before that, when he was just having weakness, and that was early signs of it. You understand?
Right. Oh my God. Right there. That elbow never been the same ever since that accident.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Like if I straighten it out and I rotate my wrist, it will pop.
Scar tissue.
Yeah, after that bicycle accident, I couldn't straighten it 100%. Like it was going to 80 maybe.
Sure.
So like there was a big nerve in the back that I was
catching.
Yeah.
Right back here is where the groove that the ulna has to be able to pivot back into to allow you to be able to straighten. The humerus here and the ulna. This kind of, if there's fluid back here, you understand?
Yeah.
This can't go into that. So when you damage this, all this fluid builds up right in this little pocket.
Right there. Oh my God.
And so if your range of motion is decreased, it's usually because this won't. This has been occupied with fluid that now the bone can't go into. Right there. When you have a trauma like that, your body expects you to do it again. You understand? It puts down walls and stiffness in anticipation of you falling off a bicycle again. Well, I'm not going to do it again, Ed. Yeah, but your body doesn't believe you.
True.
Your body believes that this is the new normal, is to fall off a bicycle and land on this and bust up your elbow. And so it's, why haven't I got my range of motion back? Because again, your body's going to reduce range of motion to increase stability. It's going to try to, make it stronger and stiffer. And
So kind of the treatment is to try to talk to the body and say, hey, stop putting up these barricades, take them down. We got to unring the bell and go back to the way it was before he fell. And all right, but the body's not going to do that kind of willingly. It has to kicking and screaming. We're going this way. Oh, that was it. Wow, that hasn't moved in a while. I mean, there's a lot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that left side is just a mess.
Mm-hmm.
So it's congestion. These are like clogged pipes, but
Yes.
no wonder you're hurting.
Yeah.
We gotta flush all this out. When teacher tried in a minute, try to do things at home to try to push some blood in there yourself.
Yes.
And then yes, to some degree you have to have care. There we go. A little bit. Ooh, yeah. Nice. Okay. Nice. Kind of look up for me a little bit, and then press back with your elbow here. There you go. Oh, there we go. Here we go, press. Here we go, keep pressing. Oh, it's okay, keep good. I got you. Tilt left for me a little bit. Oh. There we go, tilt it left. Okay. Didn't know I was signing up for this, but it's part of the package. Here we go. Tilt your head to the right for me. And tilt right. Okay, it's okay. All right. I got you. So this is called a cervical dental, and the goal of this is to mold.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying earlier about it emulating my thumb. It holds you in this curved position.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said earlier, we're going to do a little bit of right rotation. That makes sense? To get some more pressure on that right side. Sometimes you'll take your hand, you put it on your forehead, and you press.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Try to see if you get your head to sink in, and then you put your hand back down and relax and try to take a nap. We need to start balancing and bringing some extension into your life, but not by making your lower neck do it. That makes sense. We want your upper neck to do it.
Mm.
And that's the first goal of treatment, at the very least for the table, is why the table is necessary, is so that when we do this, we're not just making the lower neck do it, but the whole spine is working as a team.
This is not even
Correct.
touching the.
There's your problem.
This is so tight right here.
We got to stretch your shoulders back. You understand?
Mhm.
You got work to do. It's 20 minutes. You got to hold, and then you're going to work all these angles. So this is like 9 and 3 on the clock. You understand?
Yeah, man.
All these angles. You got to work on every. I want all this mastered. You
Right.
understand? You want to go to the edge and back off. You understand? The goal is it won't change, kind of like the gym. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see improvement in muscle mass if you don't push the muscle and tear it up a little bit, right?
Mm.
You have to push it to get it to change. So you want to go to that edge of not overwhelming yourself, but and if it gets too difficult, you put your hands in your belly, take a break. I know. I'm greedy. All right, good. Sit. Oh, yes. There you go. Let it go, chin up. Good.
Oh.
All right. You did great. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I feel good now.
I'm going to check that range of motion one more time. I just want to see how you're. So just kind of look gently up for me again. Wow. Whoa. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't. I don't have that pain anymore.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Right, because your whole spine's working as a team, right?
Yes.
I just got your upper neck working,
Yes.
and you're going to maintain it with that dental. And
Right.
then that's going to be the rest of your life, understanding to not make your lower neck do all the work.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're a
Dr.
good friend. Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.